Hello and welcome to EU4, Caribbean Sun, where I am going to be taking the country of Carib and hopefully making the Incan Empire, and usually I go for the entire South American continent to get the Sun God achievement. This is a strategy I used to already get it myself, so I'm just kind of going through this again for some fun and to show off what I do. This is vanilla, so got achievements, all that good shit. First strategy is Carib. You have a random ruler, so feel free to just keep re-rolling again until you get a leader with 5 or 6 military skill. Admin and diplomacy don't matter as much. I actually just kind of stumbled into getting this 5-4-5. So, pretty good leader. Don't need to be this good, you just need 5 or 6 military skill. Everything else is secondary. Of course, admin and a bit of diplomacy doesn't. First things first, you're going to set your focus to military because we're going to want to get military points as fast as possible. Make your... actually, since he's such a good admin leader, his stats are pretty terrible. I am going to recruit a general, see if we get lucky. Not really, but it keeps the first guy safe, so... This is just a bit of safeguard prevention. You usually don't need to hire a general. Alright, we are going to immediately build up to 6, just so we don't waste any time. We're going to build spy network on our Arawak, our historical rival here. Feel free to send your merchant over here, it doesn't really matter too much. Alright, usually I would migrate immediately to Cumana or over here. But I want to see where my rival... Okay, he moved over there. So we are immediately going to cancel our recruitment. And we're going to move over to Ensign Guai. Now this bit isn't so much necessary. That's decent enough. But it helps prevent them annexing you after a war goes badly. Which... if the war goes badly in your single player, just restart again. It's pretty early, and but if you do this in multiplayer, it's important. Now, sooner or later, we'll get the ability to rival him. There we go. Now, immediately do that and continue building your forces up to 8, which will be 2 higher, but those 2 you're not going to keep them for long. And those 2 extra guys should guarantee you the victory. But yeah, we'll be taking advantage of 2 things to become the Incan Empire. First is the fact that, as a migrant, you gain extra monarch power for migrating. Is that acceptable? Which means that we can tech up faster in military points than the Incans can. Especially faster than Cusco can, with its 6 military leader, which is why getting a 5 to 6 yourself is so important. Okay. I should have been doing some things earlier, but oh well. We want to issue another thing that we have an advantage, because of our rival here is pretty small. We can get above 50 power projections pretty easily. Let's go there. Now we're going to want to scornfully insult him for another 10 power projection. And as soon as that's done, we are going to declare a humiliate rival war. Now let's go this way because we want to fight him without that -1 modifier. Those guys aren't a good sign. Okay, we should still be good. But it worked out because we both got one. Alright. We have a 2k advantage on him, or nearly 2k. Yeah. Alright, and now that we've got them dead, we just chased him down. That is a really good general trait to get. And murder his army. Never mind the -2 there. Will we get there? Yep, we'll get there before the end of the month. Alright. Come on, you should have no morale. No. if the award chief event is also a good way to get a high morale. You never pop what I want you to event. I hope you know that, right? It usually has a pretty high mean time to happen, so that was actually decent luck getting it twice in a row like that. But if you are stuck in a multiplayer and you do have issues and don't have a high morale high morale, or high military skill, I should say, leader, you can try to fish for that event. It just happens while you're at war with higher than 20 military tradition. But it's actually got a pretty high, like 96 months to happen. So you might not see it. I've had an entire game I just did online with this opening where I didn't get it. It was quite painful because that guy had a military skill of 1, which that I still managed to become the Incan Empire. But the problem is, it's not becoming the Incan Empire which is really the issue with playing Carib and the Incan Empire. It's the issue that any other native has, especially of the non totemist variety, in that reforming before the Europeans come can be a bitch. Alright, so our first war, we want to show strength for another 100 military points. Now, what we are immediately going to do, after getting that sweet, sweet military points, is to break our truce and declare war on him again. Don't need to conquest Cassius Belli, just doing a no CB war is also perfectly valid. But the main thing about this is we get to go to war again, and we tank our stability down to -3. Which is something we want because -3 stability allows us to migrate 30% faster. Which combined with this one reform here gives us a migration cooldown of -55%. Which allows us to basically migrate around about every 2.5 years. Now if we migrate on cooldown at -3 stability with that reform, we basically average around a +1 to all of our ruler skills. Which means that with our high power projection, which sadly won't last for long, we are averaging around a military skill of 12. Now, the other reason why we declare war, an OCB war on him, is for the humiliate rival discovery. And so we can milk some money from him. That's just kind of a meh thing to get, but hey. Alright. So we have that. And now we can just set our people on drilling. That was a pretty quick war, and as soon as we get this in just 1 more month, we can start migrating. I personally like migrating around the Windward Isles because they all have over 10 development, allowing us to get away with building a higher military. Of course, we can't move there in 1 because I moved here to keep a distance so we couldn't conquest us, but get up to your force cap as you can, build up to 7 when you get up to here. You're going to be capped on manpower as you wait around for your truce, which is about a 1461. Maybe I should go with a lower truce. But I thought truce cooldown was only based off of provinces taken, so it doesn't really matter too much. I don't think you could fit in a second show strength war, and we do want the humiliate rival aid objective as soon as we can, mostly for the justified wars, for the reduced aggressive expansion where we're gobbling up the Incans, or for our higher developed colonies. Colonies is kind of a niche one. We might get a few colonies out of it, we might not. If I was playing a totemist empire, I would totally go for the colonies one because it's like the second clan migration is one of the ones I go with pretty early. Mind you, that's more when I play a totemist, which I'll show off my little totemist playthroughs that I do later. Alright, and we're mostly drilling because we want to grab up our army professionalism so that we can take manpower from it when we start conquering the Incas. Which, speaking of, Ichma, how are you? You're allied to Hula and Chacapaya. Hula, what are you allied with? Quito. This could be a good opening. We can attack Hula. No, we can't attack Hula first. We could attack Quito, but that comes with Musica and Chibu, really? Okay, now we do have a bit of an issue. We can't do Hula first, because Hula we can't vassalize until everyone else pieces out. We can't attack Chimo, because then Cusco will get involved, and they are pretty potent because of this guy, so you don't want to really take them on early on. Unless he has the luck that I do whenever I used to play him and his good guy both die immediately. Oh, yeah, the good one actually already died. Oh, we might attack Cusco first. But, we want to get a vassal in the Incan region. Because then we can start annexing territory adjacent to our vassal. So Cajamarca here is looking to be a pretty good case. We want to vassalize the secondary participant if possible, so that we can then annex for the first one. Let's go to Trinidad, get some cocoa, and now we can build up our military by another +1. So we could attack Cajamarca, allowing us to vassalize Chapacaya, but we couldn't vassalize Huenca, because it's not adjacent. Hula would be a very good target if it wasn't for the fact that, well, we could vassalize Ichima, but Ichima is a province we need to take. Because holding Lima here allows us to reform to totemist via an event. Not a totemist, into intel via event. Don't worry about those missions for now, we'll be selecting them later. But Quito, Ikma, Chimo gives Quito, Huanca, and Chapacaya, none of which you could kind of do the thing from. Cajamarca. Let's see, Huanca. You've allied with Chimo anyway. So you're allied with Quito, Huanca, Chacapaya. You're allied with Quito. That didn't last long. Quito and Ikma. Huanca's allied with Chimo, Cajamarca, and Cola. It could change up a bit when Cusco does his first war, which we'll see. But this Cajamarca Chapapaya might be the best one. Then once we have Cajamarca as our territory and Chapapaya as a vassal, as well as Huanca, we can then use Chapacaya or Huanca's Cassius Bellies to attack Hula, which then we can just take all of that territory in a peace deal. And we could even take Quito, but I'll probably make a vassal out of Quito. Mostly because it is the Karen culture, and we want to culture swap into Quichua. So we don't want to have a lot of high development non-Quichua territory to slow down our vassal swap. Yeah, we should do trade investment, I guess. Okay, we can almost migrate again. I'll turn up the speed a bit. Just make certain we don't miss a day. So we've got 2 months to go. But I don't see a better opening move than that, because we can just gobble our way down to Lima. Right, let's go to St. Vincent. Man, these natives have a weird way to name these islands, don't they? St. Vincent? What's a saint? Fire pip on you. Not bad. Okay, we're not going to be doing any more of these reforms because we're not planning on keeping the totemist faith. We took the Travelers because despite the fact that the migration cooldown won't be getting us, we're about to go underneath 50, that the migration cooldown won't be giving us back any enough returns to the diplomacy, it does give us some more military and admin. Military is the most important because we want to get to Mil Tech 3, preferably 4, by the time we push down here, at which point we basically become Space Marines in comparison. And admin is second most important because we want to go for... I usually end at admin tech 5, so that then I can take the expansion idea and help out my little colonialism for a few decades before the Europeans arrive. Not to mention a bit of the admin points spent in ideas isn't going to be as wasteful as spending it on technology. We could instead do development, but I kind of like getting the admin. Likewise, I'd put my Diplo... well, so much for my admin points. I also like getting my Diplo to 3 just for the settler increase from 10 to 25, which allows us to colonize a speed, but a decent enough one. Agent was discovered, that's fine. Got plenty of time before we attack him again. He'll probably... oh, never mind, they got eaten. They usually ally with the other people over here, but they got eaten, so that's fine. Buildings we won't deal with until we go places. Okay. Let's migrate to this second totally well-named island of St. Lucia. Get some sugar out of that. Well connected. Okay. Hopefully won't be getting advisors anytime soon, but that's fine. Quito, Wanka, Chapakaya. Wanka looks like it could be getting eaten. Let's see, Cola, Wanka, and... yeah. So Wanka might be eaten, but that's fine. We can still declare war on Hula and get everything we want. Absorb that. Then with Quito, we can't actually get Quito as a vassal unless we call it in as a primary. So we are probably just gonna have to take some territory from him. It's a bit more problematic. We could start declaring war on Quito and vassalize all 3 of those, but yeah, then we'd have a truce with that guy, and it's not as good. Alright, Miltech 3. Yeah, we should easily make it to Miltech 4 before our truce with them is done. And then we'll do another show strength war for another 100 of each monarch power, and then we will begin our invasion. Actually, don't want to increase our stability now, so we'll go with getting more monarch points. Monarch points is king, especially milled points. Chimu, Kajimaka, and Ikma, yeah. Ranka still exists. It's that, but that's fine. We can return its province to it and make it a bit more loyal as a vassal because of that. And then we can occupy Ikma itself via Hula. Yeah. Actually, do you have a Cassius Belli? You do have a Cassius Belli on Hula. Good. Alright. So we'll take Chakapaya as a vassal. Occupy Kajimaka. And we'll see what we can get out of Quito. But Quito we might just have to knock out pretty early. Take what we can get, which might not be much, but We'll see. I'm pretty certain we can't vassalize them as a secondary, and they've got a huge alliance web we don't want to bring in. Later, though. Oh, it no longer has Quito as a... Did it ever, or was I just being retarded? I might have just been retarded. Yeah, so Kajumaka will vassalize Chapapaya and Wenka. Then we'll declare war on Hula to grab Ikma. And we could... yeah, we're not gonna purchase him for a while, but if at all, but hey, prestige. But... Don't know if we'll be wanting to call him in as a primary. I think I'll save... Take some territory maybe, and peace out with him, and then we see if we can annex him with our war against Chimu, maybe. That could be an idea. 100% more, although aggressive expansion, we might just want to white piece him out. Rather than take territory from a secondary participant. Especially since we'll be full annexing Hula and Ikma. We'll be vassalizing 2 people. Yeah. Cusco did not gain more. Holy hell! This is actually Cusco might actually be a decent option to start. Oh, you are not having a good game, Cusco. But that's fine. Cusco actually has the territory I want, the culture I want to get more of. Alright, we're going to start migrating back down to St. Lucia. And I believe next migration we can go to the Delta again. At which point we will start our build up and conquest. And Arawak's usual vassal buddy, ally buddy, got eaten, so yay. No having to deal with him. Usually you gotta peace out him and then show strength to Arawak, which is annoying, but fortunately we don't have to deal with that. But yes. Yeah, I think this is our opening. Once we eat Cusco, though, we actually might just be able to just blitzkrieg our aggressive expansion and basically just go with the mindset of, hey, if we have everyone a truce, they can't coalition us. It's a bit difficult, but we'll see how it goes. Provided like these 3 don't join together in a coalition, we'll be fine. These 2, are they rivals? They are. One of these I'll try to grab an alliance with just so we can do the Trustworthy Allies mission. Then we can go down and break it, and the reason we want that is just to get the mission beneath it, which is Diplomatic Annexation costs. Saves us a bit of diplomacy when we integrate Kibo, Quito, and maybe Musica. Yeah. Comes to Quito, I probably do want to just call... Because yeah, your 2 friends will be my vassal by the time I war with you. So, declare war on Quito, and yeah. Alright, we're gonna go to the Delta. Tropical wood, not the best. Alright, we're gonna stop that. We're gonna start building our land force limit. We will let our military morale build back up. We'll have a tiny bit over thing for a bit, but that's fine. And our truce with you is over, so we'll send you another insult. Right after we, yeah, we'll send the insult now. Give us another 10 power projection. Alright, and we don't need the advantage now because he's on 1 military power and attack, and we're on 3. So our morale is god tier compared to him, essentially. We want to increase our stability. Actually, something I should have done, because stability is pretty cheap as a tribal confederation, I probably should have bought stability 1 and taken a decision for the 25% decrease. Because that would actually save me on admin points in the long run. But it doesn't matter. So we're going to do this. We're going to humiliate him again, and we're going to introduce him to just some... yeah. It's quite silly what that getting to military tech free can do for... Is he going to get wiped out by natives? He lost to natives. I could have just sat in his capital. Okay. Now before this building completes, we want to take this mission. But we'd like to hold off on it as long as we can, so we get the most use out of it. So we will take it in... Finished in October, so October 1st will probably be where we want to do it. Now let's conserve manpower a bit, I guess, sure. Or do you have siege? Yes, you do. Let's hope for that natives don't spawn and screw up that idea. No, it didn't. Okay. August and September. And then in October, okay, we're gonna hit this mission, giving us 5% morale of armies on our, like, 4 morale? Is it 3? This on morale. From technology free, so we get point 15, which is quite impressive when their base is 2. So. Alright, we have that built up, and now we want to build 5 more troops. Could go for more, but 12 is usually enough with this tech difference. And getting the 4,000 there just gives us some, alright. Gives us a bit of bonus. We want to do, not war reparations, show strength for another 100. And that gives us even more power protection. Which doesn't give us... no, it does give us a bit of morale. Alright, let's build up to 12, and then we'll start our invasion of the Incas. We have Miltech 4 compared to Cusco's 3. And everyone else is at 1 or 2. Alright, I will end the episode here, and I will see you with the invasion of the Incas. Actually, before we go, let's try our luck with a second general. God, you are terrible. You know what, let's try our... We got Miltech 4, that's the main thing I want. Let's... and what's our tradition at? 20... You should be getting at least 1 good guy. 2, 2, 3... You're probably the best we're gonna get. Don't have the awesome trait, but that's fine. Alright, I'll see you guys next episode.